Alright. Last episode we fought Wolf and he did a suicide attack. Now we're on day 4.
Is this the right place? What a shabby bedroom. Is this really the one? He does not at all seem to be the intelligent person Al spoke of.
Mealy.
How unsightly. But as I am so magnanimous, I shall allow it. However, hurry and wake up. Who do you think you slumber before?
An intense impact suddenly forced me out of my dreams. I'm also pushed off my bed, my back smacking against the hard floor.
What just happened?
I snapped into consciousness from the sudden assault, and an alarm set off in my head thinking Wolf has made his next attack. But
What on earth?
Fool. Where do you think you are looking?
Huh?
How dare you present such an uncouth face, commoner? I will not stand for such impertinence in my presence.
the woman in red arrogantly crosses her arm. My sense of reality disorientated me. A woman who shouldn't be here in the bedroom having appeared out of nowhere. I'd understand if someone said this were a dream, but this isn't someone I'd like to meet in one.
Actually, if I think of it as a chance to rehearse dangerous conversations, then maybe it wouldn't be so bad to meet her in my dreams.
I am impressed you can daydream even in my presence. Of course, it is execrable to try and cause me to be impressed by anyone. There is no other option but to behead fools like you myself.
Sorry! I'm sorry! Just tell me what's going on!
I see that this is reality. This reality is unrealistic, so I seek an explanation before I get decapitated. Priscilla, who had an air of danger about her until now, narrowed her eyes.
My jester informed me of yesterday's events. A meritorious deed deserves a reward. Therefore, I have come to commend you personally.
Huh. So she says.
Yeah, sorry about that, bro. I didn't get a chance to stop her, you know? She was like a flash of lightning, too fast for the naked eye to see.
Al, who is sitting across from me, slaps his knee as he crackles to himself.
You definitely don't seem sorry about that. I doubt you even tried to stop her.
Oh, seeing right through me, huh? Of course I didn't stop her. I wouldn't want to put the princess in a bad mood and off me just like that.
I'll explain his stance while a hint of ill will. I don't even have it in me to get mad at his nonchalant demeanor.
Still, though.
Why are you staring at me like that? You are being incredibly rude.
No, I was just thinking about how strange today has been. I never thought you, of all people, would visit me at this inn.
I lock eyes with Priscilla as I say this. It still feels like this is all a dream. It's no exaggeration to say Priscilla is arrogant incarnate, yet she still took the time to visit me. And
I already told you while we were in that seedy bedroom of yours. An exemplary deed must be rewarded. This also pertains to the meeting regarding the Royal Selection's postponement. It is a matter that relates to you, is it not?
Yeah, I really appreciate this.
that's right, we're riding with Priscilla's group on their dragon carriage to attend a meeting at the castle. Surprisingly, Priscilla went out of her way to pick Rim and me up. I really am grateful since Amelia isn't here with us this time. They wouldn't have any reason to invite us to the castle otherwise. Though we're still involved with the selection process, so there shouldn't be any reason to refuse our attendance.
But I guess if we shouldn't know about the meeting in the first place, there'd be no way to negotiate our way inside the castle.
Of course, I might have been able to head to the castle if I somehow convinced them of my fey ignorance, just like I did when I warned about Wolf. But that would be leaving a lot to chance once we get to the castle, so I've been wondering what I should do.
Be grateful.
Priscilla speaks up as if she'd been reading my mind. She places a hand on her more than adequately sized bust, bending her lips into a gracious smile.
If you so wish, I shall permit you to worship and revere my presence.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm thankful to you, but this is supposed to be a reward, right? Thanks to you, we'll be able to join this meeting and bring some important info back to Amelia. We really appreciate that.
Yes, We are deeply pleased that you have bestowed us this favor, Miss Priscilla.
Wait, hold on. What was if you so wish, I should permit you to worship and revere my present. I am thinking. Okay. I got confused. I got a bit confused on what exactly he was saying. I was like, wait, isn't the gift that they are going to the royal capital with them? But yeah, I thought she said, hey, here's another gift. And the other gift was, just, hey, you can praise me if you like. I just got confused on that.
Do not thank me. I do as I wish. This is simply a result of that. The world exists for my sake, after all.
Priscilla's remark is an epitome of arrogance, but it's definitely fitting coming from her. As our trivial conversation wanes, our dragon carriage arrives at the royal castle. We pass through the giant open doors, setting foot inside the hall behind them. Suddenly, all eyes in the room are on us.
Subaru, Natsuki, and Rem. I see you were able to enter castle grounds safely.
Cruce! Well, how do I put this? It was more at the behest of this princess's whim.
Priscilla Barial. I never expected you two to be acquainted. The truth is, I also sent an envoy to invite you here.
What? You did that for us?
My eyes go wide at Cruce's gesture. While I was agonizing about how to sneak in here, Priscilla and Cruce were already giving me two options to do so. Even without Priscilla's fickle intervention coming into play, I had a backup plan to get to the castle without even realizing it.
Oh dear, I can't just ignore this. I never imagined Cruce would be doing the same thing.
That voice.
Hmm.
Anastasia Hoshin.
That's right, I'm here too. It's only been a day since we last saw each other, hasn't it?
Anastasia, what do you mean Cruce is doing the same thing?
It isn't all that complicated, you know? I'm saying I also sent someone to fetch you and Rem. They arrived at the inn you're staying at, but said they were chased off by some crazed princess.
A crazed princess.
Rem mumbles to herself, looking behind her. Priscilla scoffs at all this.
What? How dare you foist such lowly eyes upon me? Unlike the likes of you who sent mere messengers, I saw to him personally. Is it not natural for your transport to be dismissed?
Of course. I would never lose face over such trifles.
But I can't say I'm pleased by it. If we let you get the better of us like this, it doesn't bode well for things in the royal selection.
Hey now.
The three candidates glared at each other. I'm standing in the middle of them for some reason, which filled me with a great sense of unease.
Subaru, it seems your actions these past few days have made everyone concerned for us.
That's why we're in this dilemma. Like a guy dating multiple women at once.
I'd surely be stabbed if I even did that with these girls, but who knows what will happen with this being a political conflict.
I wish I were a shellfish.
Rem would not like that. Although shellfish do open their mouths when heated, so that would be one way to open you.
I don't even get the luxury of clamming myself up!
It is inevitable that we would confront each other like this. But regardless, it is a welcome fact that Subaru Natsuki came to the castle.
That's true. None of us intended to get ahead by excluding one of the royal candidates' camps.
Missing such opportunities reveals the extent of one's capabilities. My inviting him on a whim should be noted in that regard.
The royal candidates come to terms while I wallow in my own despair. I sigh in relief seeing them cast their qualms aside for the time being.
I don't feel good at all, though. Even if it does feel like I got to experience women fighting over me.
Oh, wait, Frick!
I don't feel good at all, though. Even if it does feel like I got to experience women fighting over me. In fact, I've got some serious heartburn from all this. Huh? What's up, Rem?
Oh no, pay me no mind. I just haven't seen Miss Melty anywhere.
Rem quietly whispered this in my ears after she take a quick look around. It's natural for her to be concerned. It is a bit worrying not seeing Melty's fifth camp here. In reality, Melty would be the sixth camp to arrive, with Felt and Reinhardt being the fifth. It'd be weird if I told Rem that though. Besides, it shouldn't change how the meeting today will play out, even if I didn't tell her.
At least, it shouldn't change. right?
I carefully observed as the meeting started, and it proceeded as I remember, despite Amelia's absence. Melty Camp arrived halfway through, and Reinhardt reveals felt as another candidate. Then Old Man Rom interrupted the gathering and felt blah blah blah. Same thing as always. Everyone started suspecting one another, then we were all corralled to Melty get together.
Let's all get together! Is there not a more pressing issue at hand?
Huh?
Priscilla speaks up to interrupt Melty, who was about to propose get-together idea with a smile.
Miss Priscilla, what issue do you speak of?
Do not play dumb with me. I won't allow you to act as if you've never received the report. Regarding that man?
You mean the one who is supposedly trying to interfere with the royal selection?
The hall fills with agitated murmurs as Milk looked to a member of the Council of Wise Men make his remark.
Wait a second. This is...
The conversation takes an unexpected turn into uncharted territory. This is due to our encounter with Wolf before this meeting. Of course, he brought up, being someone who plotting to attack the royal candidate, but at this rate...
According to the report, the one who encountered the threat was not you, Miss Priscilla.
So that's why she wanted to bring us.
Shirking in the corner over there. Without hearing his side of the story, you hardly have a tale worth telling. Hence why I brought him here today.
I knew you didn't just bring me here out of the kindness of your heart. I don't feel appreciated at all.
The reward fitting your exemplary deed was plenty repaid when I personally awoke you.
You call that rude awakening a reward? Don't lump me in with Al.
What's that supposed to mean? And don't involve me in all this.
Ignore Al's protest. I put in the spotlight as I forced to speak with everyone gaze on me in the middle of the hall.
Very well then. What is your name and affiliation?
My name is Subaru Natsuki. In my affiliation, I'm Miss Amelia's servant. Unfortunately, she was unable to make it here today. As her representative, I have a note expressing as much from Miss Amelia's guardian, Margrave Mathers. Here, this is it.
We've already confirmed the document. There's no mistaking the Margrave gave his express permission for this boy to attend in his stead.
I understand. So then, Mr. Subaru Natsuki, will you tell us what happened in your own words?
Oh man, where do I start? I'll just get right to it. There's a masked clown assassin that's targeting the royal candidates. I encountered him yesterday when I was out with Rem, and we got in a fight. Somehow, though, we managed to drive him off.
I go on at length about Wolf the assassin, explaining every detail I remember about his appearance in the ensuing battle. I stutter my way through the whole thing, but nobody interrupts me as I speak, so I think I managed to talk about everything important.
Anyway, that's who we're dealing with. Unfortunately, we weren't able to capture him, so I don't know if he's still in the royal capital.
I see. You have provided some very valuable information. Still, it seems you have been through a great ordeal to do so.
May I add on to that? And to tell the truth, I just recently heard that such an assassin exists from Natsuki here.
I had to give him my piece, and Santa provided more detail to back up my claims.
I heard Natsuki bumped into this assassin and fought him only a few hours after we had our discussion. I feel incredibly regretful about not taking him seriously then.
Anastasia directed her apology towards me, then someone else raised their hand to speak.
I also have something I wish to add. Concerning Subaru Natsuki's character, he is not the type to tell lies of ill intent. I can assure you all of this.
Fouché.
He is earnest in his duty and service to Amelia. I would be blind not to recognize it.
Christian gives a deep nod, and I feel relief washes over me.
What is it? Look at me with those beggar's eyes. Such is the height of disrespect.
Well, I just figured you'd have something to add with those two speaking up.
What a vulgar, boorish request. Though I understand your confusion, seeing as the lioness and vixen have spoken out.
Wait, who's a vixen?
What? Are you referring to me as the vixen? How rude.
I have merely given you an appropriate evaluation. As well, while this commoner may be the pinnacle of impudence, an achievement is still an achievement. I admit that you and my jester drove off that odd cretin from my abode. I recognize your efforts in this endeavor. I permit you to stake your life for my sake again next time.
Like hell I would! If I'm going to offer my life for someone, it'll only be for Mealy.
Priscilla's arrogance manner of speaking only serves to rile me up.
It seems you have garnered quite a bit of trust from each of the royal candidates.
Trust. I'm honored you'd say so, but I think it's a bit different from that.
If I had to say, it's a byproduct of me going around gathering to know all of them. It's a miracle that Priscilla doesn't completely despise me when I thought she would be the hardest to deal with. Guess I was saved by the others who are known to be respectable.
Yes, I think so too. Subaru is a very good person.
What? I don't have anything to say. Both of us are probably wondering just why the hell we're here in the first place.
Nothing can feel their opinion as well, although Phil is a colder response compared to everyone else.
Well, Felt does have her own situation to deal with, so she probably doesn't have the time to consider mine right now.
From her perspective, she basically woke up one day and was dragged into the castle as a royal candidate. It's not much a Cinderella story as it is an Arthurian, having pulled the sword from the stone and suddenly being treated as a king. In any case,
I know I shouldn't be the one to say this, but with the royal candidates backing us like this, I hope it lends more credence to my story.
Of course, we are considering this matter very seriously. Yet you failed to mention this assassin's name.
Wolf, the malevolent masked magician. At least, that's what he called himself.
Indeed. I will alert the Knights of the Royal Guard and conduct a thorough investigation.
Yeah, please do.
I've been wondering how all this would play it out, since this event is different from the previous loops, but I'm relieved it's put me in the clear.
If I may make one final inquiry, Mr. Natsuki.
Oh, yes? What is it?
Naturally, you intend on conveying the information discussed during this meeting to Miss Amelia afterward, correct?
That's, well, yeah, most likely.
In that case, would you please inform Miss Amelia and Margrave Mathers to visit the royal capital as well?
You want Amelia to come to the royal capital?
My face tenses as I answer little unexpected question with my own. I had Amelia stay behind at the manor so her name wouldn't get spread around. Even now, I don't know if that was the right call to make. That's why I'm not too eager to bring her here, but...
Now that 6 royal candidates have appeared in contradiction to the Dragonstone, we must properly question each and every one. I understand the sudden nature of this request, but I ask that you convey such urgency
But
to
wait, why Roswell as well? I can't give them an immediate answer, even though they're acting rather politely. After all, if Amelia were to come here, there's the possibility of the capital being tormented by the witch cult again. Unlike last time, we confronted Wolf first, and Amelia hadn't defeated the Dust Bandits. That means there's a chance the witch cult might change up their plans. But still...
Mr. Natsuki, does our request inconvenience you in some way?
Well, that's...
No, not at all. We will promptly convey the urgency of your message to Lord Roswell and Miss Amelia.
While I struggle to find the right words, Rem cuts to the chase for me. I turn around and surprised at her agreement.
Rem, you...
Now is not the time, Subaru. If we show any hesitation here, then they will all suspect Miss Amelia is up to something.
Right. That'd be troublesome.
Rem's right. If we hesitate on whether or not to have Amelia come to the royal capital, it will seem like we're trying to hide something.
Mr. Natsuki, if your companion is saying as such...
Oh, yes, I agree.
It took some time before we all came to an agreement, but I'm glad to hear you say so.
It takes some convincing for me, but decide that Amelia will be coming to the capital. I have no choice but to nod in agreement for now, but if I didn't follow through by calling her, it will only increase their suspicion.
Very well. Now to wrap things up. Miss Melty, what is it you wanted to discuss earlier?
Huh? Oh, yes, right. I wanted to bring this up earlier, but I'd like to suggest we all have a get-together. It would be great to get to know everyone some more.
And so, while an unexpected event triggered, the get-together still found its rightful place in this loop.
With all that sudden questioning, I didn't know what to expect. Damn that Priscilla.
My gratitude for being called to the meeting was completely nullified when I got called out like that.
As I thought, nothing good ever comes from being associated with her. Still, though.
I glanced around, seeing all the royal candidates standing in the center of the venue. If memory served, Priscilla and Anastasia aren't supposed to be here. Since they are, it's begs the question of how everything will play out with Amelia's absence this time around. I'm pretty sure Priscilla is sticking around on a whim, so Anastasia's presence is the most striking.
I don't think she's the type to just change her plans without a solid reason.
You seem to be quite familiar with all the royal candidates. No wonder Miss Anastasia shows
Hey,
interest.
Julius.
I wouldn't say I know them all that well. I just know of them.
Humility may be a virtue, but you should just accept the praise I'm giving you. Your actions will help save the lives of all the candidates, after all.
Don't you think that's a bit of a stretch?
Is it? You foiled someone's plot to interfere with the royal selection, and took action to warn those targeted. Not to mention that you fought off the assailant, gauging his true threat level in the process. Is that not worthy of recognition?
How do I put this? I know he's complimenting me, but it doesn't feel like it. He's not being his usual snide or sarcastic self, so why is this some sort of psychological aversion?
Is something the matter, Mr. Subaru Natsuki?
Can you not call me Mr.? It's weird. Just call me Subaru like everyone else. And you're...
Ah, yes. An oversight on my end. I apologize for the late introduction. I am Julius Euclius. I am a knight of the Royal Guard, serving as Miss Anastasia's knight. It's a
I'm
pleasure to meet
surprised
you.
he was able to not screw this up.
Due to the royal selection, we will be in each other's company for a while. Let us both do our utmost to serve our masters and strive for prosperity for the kingdom.
You're really gung-ho about sticking to the rules, aren't you?
He just make a face like he has no clue what I'm talking about, but I don't have time have it in me to explain, though I do feel a little bad for confusing him like that.
Ah, Subaru and Julius. What are you two talking about?
An interesting combination of people who've gathered here. Would you mind if we joined you?
Yeah, go for it. I was just about to start talking about the weather, knowing that neither of us can hold a conversation for very long.
Nobody ever talks about that seriously anyway.
The one joining our conversation are Reinhardt and Ferris, who've been talking to the other candidates and the member of the Council of Wise Men. Sensing their friendly demeanor towards me, Julius raised an eyebrow in fascination.
Reinhard, Ferris, are you already acquainted with Subaru?
Yes. We met a while back in the royal capital. Thanks to Subaru, I was led to Miss Felt.
That's putting a spin on it. If you say it like that, Felt will give me the stink eye.
Fairy's case is way simpler. Subaru is just one of Fairy's patients, and that's how I know him, meow?
I see. Your connections with those involved in the royal selection run deeper than I imagined. Perhaps it is I who has had the late start.
Don't treat me like I'm some lucky statue or something. Meeting me sooner doesn't change anything. Also, the one who's gonna win the royal selection is gonna be my melee. You all think your camps will be the one to take the throne, don't you?
The three of them fall silent at my question, then they all break into a smile.
I believe all the knights gathered here wish for their own masters to win. But I'm impressed in your confidence for saying that so boldly, Subaru.
While I would normally tell one to keep such thoughts to themselves, I suppose a more aggressive approach is needed here.
Fairy's always thought that Miss Cruchet is the best of the best. Nothing will ever change my mind on that.
When it comes to their own masters, none of them are willing to falter, and then...
Hey, I see the whole crew's gathered around. Mind if I butt in too?
Don't you mean we? To tell the truth, I feel a bit left out.
Oh, you guys came over too. Well,
I was
feel free.
wondering if Tiga and Sakura was here.
Alright then. So,
So...
what were you all talking about? We were just conversing about each of the candidates, as well as our zeal for the royal selection.
The candidates! That's good! That's very good. I get it. I totally get it. All the candidates are good-looking women, after all.
Interrupting Reinhardt, Al nodded over like he understood what's really going on, but in reality it's nothing like he's probably imagining.
The ruler is the face of the kingdom. Therefore, a beautiful woman is the prime choice. On that note, it's not strange if any of them take the crown.
What, do you think this is a beauty pageant? Besides, if the ruler is decided on looks alone, it wouldn't be a fair competition.
Huh? What do you mean by that, bro?
Of course, when it comes to beauty, my Mealy is the most beautiful of them all.
It's true, all the candidates have their own charm, but they stand no chance against the supreme beauty that is my silver-haired master.
If this were a beauty pageant, Mealy's victory would be all but assured.
Wait! Isn't that a bit hasty, Meow? Why do Mew get to decide the winner, Subaru?
Huh?
If we're talking about real beauty, Fairy thinks qualities such as dignity, conduct, and elegance need to be considered.
I agree with Ferris. It's true that beauty can be observed simply on a canvas like a painting, but humans have layers that run deeper. To truly say a person is beautiful, one must evaluate every aspect of that person's character. That means the winner would be
Miss Crochet!
Miss Anastasia. Ferris, I understand your point. Miss Crochet is certainly a fine lady who commands respect.
Fairy also understands that Miss Anastasia is an elegant young woman. Becoming the president of a large company at her age is commendable.
I'm glad you understand.
No, it's fine. Fairy's relieved too. So, it's Miss Crochet, right?
Of course, it's Miss Anastasia.
This is bad. The two of them may be smiling outwardly like that, but a silent war has just been waged. This tragedy is the result of them pushing for different people. Mediating a situation like this would be too much for me to handle.
Now, just relax, you two. This is an important get-together. Don't you think it's dumb to get so heated over this?
The one to cut the tense air is Tiga, as calm as ever. Ferris and Julius stop glaring daggers at each other after Tiga's comment, and repose themselves.
Well, I guess you're right. Yeah, sorry, Julius. I got a little on edge there.
No, I should have chosen my words better. We're friends. Even though we belong to different camps involved in the royal selection, that fact remains unchanged.
Whoa, amazing. You settled that pretty well.
It's true that all of the royal candidates are beautiful in their own respects. Regardless of who becomes the next ruler, the image of the kingdom will no doubt be exemplary. When you consider that, a petty argument like this is quite absurd.
Tiga shrugs his shoulders while Ferris and Julius make amends, shaking each other's hands. I nod along in relief, then tilt my head towards Tiga.
By the way, what's your opinion, Tiga?
Obviously, Mel is the cutest.
The flames of war erupt again just as quickly as they had died down. There's no escaping this debate.
Man, I think there'd be so much competition about who supports who.
That just shows how serious everyone takes this. What about you, Sir Al?
Oh, don't say my name like that. I'm a humble vagabond. Just Al is fine.
Okay then. Al, are you comfortable not throwing your hat into the ring?
Me? Nah, I've got nothing to add. You're right that it'd be a good fight if it were a beauty contest, but...
But what?
My princess has the biggest boobs, so we win outright.
Should I add in any of the lovely qualities about
No,
Miss
you
Felt?
lose. You lose. I'm sorry, it's a freaking 9-year-old. Reinhardt cocks his head to the side with a serious look, but Al shrugs him off, the helmet hiding any expression.
Man, that was pretty ridiculous. That Tiga, carelessly blurting out something like that.
Subaru, you seem to be having an exciting chat with the other knights.
I don't know if it was exciting so much as it was tense.
Of course, like any chivalrous knight, it didn't end in a fight. True psychological warfare was certainly a spectacle.
You saw what we were up to. What about you, Rem?
At the consideration of Mrs. Crochet and Anastasia, I was allowed to listen to their conversation. All the royal candidates are quite enthusiastic about the royal selection. I know there was nothing we could do, but I wish Miss Amelia could have joined us.
Yeah, right. I get the feeling that we're a bit behind on all this.
I know it's to protect her, but this is a much safer place to be, so Amelia absent is a big disadvantage in terms of everyone's impression of her. In that regard, Makato's request for her to come to the capital might be for our benefit too.
As for getting in contact
Alright,
with her...
with that being said, I'm going to end today's episode. I'll see you guys next time.